Good evening, everybody. You're very welcome along to the final round of the Digital Motorsports VRA F3 Championship. We are live from the historic Barcelona circuit here in Catalonia, and we're about to see who's going to be crowned the Digital Motorsports F3 champion. It's currently Keith Dempsey, your championship leader, ahead of Charlie Eastwood and Peter Dempsey. They're going to be fighting it out for that wonderful trophy that's sitting just behind me here in Mondello. So it's been a great fight so far, but it's going to come to a climax here tonight. Joining me tonight as well is, of course, Samuel Lee on the cameras and Lee Thompson in the box with me as well. Lee, we've got some great racing in store tonight, I think.
Looking forward to it, Jack. You know, it was great to see the action in the last round of our previous broadcast 2 weeks ago, and looking forward to more of the same here. As you said, it literally is the historic Barcelona track here this week. That's the configuration that we're going to be running at, and the guys are out on their lone qualifying laps as we speak, with few minutes to go of the session and see who can get those laps in. We can see at the minute it's Kelly and Dempsey, 14 thousandths of a second separating the two of them at the front. That looks like that's going to be very tasty, setting us up for the race.
Yes, indeed. Keith Dempsey, the championship leader. Jordan Kelly, just again 14 thousandths clear. They've got 2 laps of alone qualifying to figure this out. Olivier Van Herk doing really well there in third place at the moment. Richard Westbrook, of course, Aston Martin factory driver, P4 at the moment. Jamie Moylan, then Charlie Eastwood, the man in P2 in the championship. Then Johnny Adam, another one of the Aston Martin factory drivers, sitting in there. Sergio Grabban, James Holman, and Nicky Meredith currently. But a few of the drivers finishing out their laps as well. As you said, the historic circuit, so we're not going to be using a couple of the section. We've got that wonderful last corner which carries on flat. We're pretty much using the MotoGP circuit, if you're familiar with that. So Keith Dempsey currently on his way around the middle section and down towards the last chicane here. Going to be taking that flat around the right-hander. See if he can put it on pole position. He's just got to find another hundredth of a second roughly to get himself up into that pole position, which is so crucial in his chase of the championship. Here he comes across the line. Where's Keith Dempsey going to put that car? 132.67. Richard Westbrook second. Jamie Moylan pops into second place there. Richard Westbrook is third. So a great qualifying from Keith Dempsey puts him on pole by 0.2 of a second. Jamie Moylan doing another excellent job for P2. Richard Westbrook very quick there, 132.993, sets the exact same lap time as Jordan Kelly, 132.983. And then Nicky Meredith on a 133.058. Charlie Eastwood on 133.1. And Brian McManus pops in ahead just behind Charlie there on a 132.33. 0.2. So very quick lap times. And you know, Lee, we all know that pole position is such a crucial thing around this circuit.
Oh, absolutely. You know, it's that classic stereotype of an F1 circuit, this place, isn't it, where people, you know, say it's all about that starting position. You just can't get the overtakes done. I mean, it is, let's say, the historic layout, so I dare say that run out the final corner will give guys an opportunity to get a bit more of a draft down the front straight. Maybe we might have seen some opportunities for moves into turn 1. But like you say, you want to be at the front, ready for that slingshot into turn 1. Yeah, let's say cracking start to tonight's session. We got half a second separating pretty much the top 8 drivers on a 1.5 lap circuit. So looking very tasty indeed. I just say Keith Dempsey, banging that lap in at the end there.
Yeah, and crucially, Charlie Eastwood all the way down in 6th place. That's his championship rival. And if I'm not mistaken, I do not believe that Peter Dempsey is with us tonight. So Peter Dempsey is out of the championship race. And as well as the Drivers' Championship, of course, we've got the Gentleman's Championship to decide and the Forever Forward Championship to decide as well. So the Gentleman's Championship, of course, awards to the driver who has the least average amount of off-tracks over the course of a race. And Forever Forward, of course, the driver who makes up the most positions over the course of the season. So it's currently Brandon Neans leading that on 96 places made over the course of the 4 rounds. And Jean Montero currently second on 80. So there's still a lot to be said there. But if not, I don't think Brad is actually with us tonight. So there's a couple of drivers who can maybe gain in that regard. The drivers like Evan Walsh and Peter McCann, Olivier Van Herk on 71. So there's still plenty. There's prizes, of course, for all of those championships too. There's 2 sets of pedals to be given out. And of course, the Drivers' Champion gets that wonderful trophy that's sitting behind me. It's very big, so they're going to have to make some space for that. But we're coming up to the end of qualifying now. But Lee, would you say, as well as pole position, could you say that second is also an advantage because you've got the slipstream in these F3 cars? It's so powerful.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, even it's such a run down into turn one here at Catalunya, and then you've of course got the switchback of turn 1 and 2. So definitely, just being in that pole position doesn't guarantee you that you're going to come out of turn 2 in that first position. So yeah, for sure, I dare say the front 2 rows, are going to be looking like they're going to have a good shot to lead by the time they come around that super fast sweeping turn 3 corner. Pretty much all the cars now have finished up their laps. We've got a couple of guys just on circuit, but it doesn't look like any of them are actually on a hot lap right now. So I dare say that our qualifying positions are going to be locked in. But yeah, Keith Dempsey with that 10th and a half over Moylan for pole position, like you say. For a couple of the viewers, Jack, who might be a bit newer to the series, obviously you've mentioned a couple of the big names that you guys have managed to recruit into this series. Real life drivers, like say Aston Martin drivers of Westbrook and Kelly you mentioned a minute ago. Of Johnny Adam a minute ago you mentioned. Who else stands out as being names that the guys out there should recognise?
Well, you should be able to recognise the other one in here, Charlie Eastwood, also an Aston Martin factory driver as well. In round 2, we had, of course, Alexander Albon driving for us as well in Road America. Did very well as well. It was one of the first times I'd seen him out on track in iRacing. So we've had Marco Sorensen as well in with us. So there's some big names in here as well, and it's really great to have them mixing it up with all the guys here who maybe do a little bit more sim racing than they do real life racing. So it's really, really excellent to see. And Jamie Moylan as well. P2 just announced he's racing in the Irish Legends Championship as well. So a lot of these guys do race in real life too, and they do use sim racing as a tool to practice, which is becoming more the norm, and that's what we really, really love to see, that it's getting so close to real life. But time has elapsed, and we are now going to be gridding up for the first heat race of the night for what we believe is 2 heats, but we're actually not too sure on that one yet. So it is going to be 1 heat with the heat 2 skipped. So at least we've had that figured out. So it is Keith Dempsey on pole position, as we said, with Jamie Moylan, Richard Westbrook, then Jordan Kelly, Nicky Meredith, Charlie Eastwood fighting for his championship in 6th place, Brian McManus then in 7th, David Yamamoto is 8th, then we have Niall Murray and James Holman inside the top 10, Olivier Van Herk in 11th place, then Johnny Adam down there in 12th place, another one of the Aston Martin factory drivers down there, only to 0.8 of a second off of pole position, and he's not a regular racer, so fair play to him for taking part. And he didn't do a bad job out in Road America as well. He had a great fight with Alex Albon as well, which was great to see. So we're getting ready to go very, very shortly with Keith Dempsey. This is crucial for his championship. Further down the group, we've got Harrison Scott, Sergio Grabman, Kyle Stevens, Shane Rabbit, Alex Denning, Marty Moore, Joseph Faro, Yamantis, Nathan Healy, Simon Wall, Ronan Hayden, and Deming McMullen. 24 cars all the way down there. So not long to go, but Keith Dempsey has got the championship in his grasp. He's very, very close. But again, anything can happen, and it so often does in motor racing. So if he does have a bad race, then Charlie Eastwood can try and capitalize, but Keith has been known to be just so competitive and almost unbeatable. 8 laps around this historic Catalunya circuit for the final round of the VRA F3 Championship. All the championships getting decided today. And it's going to be Keith Dempsey to lead away the field as we head towards lights out here. And away we go for heat race 1, and a brilliant start from the Turn 3 Motorsport car further behind. That's an excellent start from one of the Turn 3 Motorsport. I believe that was Nicky Meredith surging through to 2nd place off the line. Absolutely fabulous stuff. They run that towards. There's a huge accident in the background. That's one of the, I think that's Nathan Healy flipping upside down in the background. There was a massive one, and Keith Dempsey has gone wide. One of the Turn 3 Motorsport cars goes through there. Keith Dempsey manages to get out ahead of everybody there. But a very chaotic start, a massive crash in the background from one of the Turn 3 Motorsport cars. Excuse me, not the Turn 3 Motorsport car, one of the AlphaTauri livery cars as they head down towards turn number 2. It looks like they've all sorted it out. There's another more caught in the background. Richard Westbrook off in the gravel trap in the background as well. A massive crash involving one of the other Turn 3 Motorsport cars as well. He just got punted in the rear by one of them. But it is Keith Dempsey who leads away the field, and I think it's Jamie Moylan still sticking into 2nd place there. So a very chaotic start there, Lee, but as always with F3, that is how it goes.
Yeah, a huge amount happened in the opening couple of corners. Once the race settles down a little bit, we'll have to go back and check some replays. Charlie Eastwood had a big jump start, I'm pretty sure, off the line. That's what put him up into second immediately. Then he had a little bit of issue earlier, further through the lap, and dropped back as they all spread out and fan out into the not quite so heavy braking for the historic layout, kind of not such sharp hairpin corner here. Yeah, they all work their way through as Meredith up in that 6th position, defending from Kelly. Behind as a spinner ahead, and that's McManus, yeah, into the wall. Damage on the front wing as well, and he's going to try and get going and filter himself back into the traffic, and he takes the Grand Prix layout to get there.
Yeah, that's just such a shame for Brian McManus, who's doing so well. So after lap 1, it is Keith Dempsey who leads from Jamie Moylan, Charlie Eastwood, Nicky Meredith, Niall Murray up inside that top 5, and James Holman's had a brilliant getaway as well. He's up to 6th place, so he's done a great job there. Jordan Kelly behind them, and then it's Johnny Adam following not too far behind.
Well, so more contact, Jack. That's Holman falling back. He got punted from behind, it looked like, as they come out of turn 2. So he went spinning off. So lots and lots of action from these real life racers, Jack. We're seeing a lot of contact out here and a lot of action early on as Scott having to defend from Kelly on the inside of turn 4 that time as well. Just about manages to hold on for now.
Yeah, just saw that instant with James Holman there, and he's got the rear right is completely broken on the car. So that's going to be, unfortunately, his chances of a good result over here today. So unfortunate there, but that is what happens with damage model Indy cars. It is it's just so brutal for these guys. They spun around again, so it's unfortunate for him. But midfield, there's a good old battle going on here between a couple of drivers: Simon Walsh, Grab, and Tony Stack, a number of others. Richard Westbrook trying to recover from his contact earlier on, and he got spun around earlier on. So he's making his way back through, or trying to, at least, in his fully blacked out livery. But we're heading on to lap number 3 of 8 right here. So we've picked it up pretty well, and Keith Dempsey still comfortably in the lead out here. But now look at this, trainer cars are going 3 abreast down the main straight. That's Johnny Adam with another one of the VRA cars sandwiched in between him. Nicky Meredith involved. That is a cluster of cars heading down towards turn 1. Olivier Van Herk's looking on the inside as well as they run down here. Marty Moore's hanging on in there as well. Look out for Johnny Allen trying to come around the outside, cut back on the inside of Niall Murray as they run through here, trying to find some space on the inside. He's got a little bit of wing damage on the left-hand side. Olivier Van Herk goes up the inside of Marty Moore. He goes through. They're going 3 abreast in the back of Harrison Scott, Jordan Kelly in the middle of that one as well. So plenty of action going on through here as Johnny Adam gets himself up ahead, tries to chase after Niall Murray. And on the inside goes Marty Moore again up the inside. Another one of the cars trying to follow him through there. And that looks like Joseph Farr trying to follow him through. So Olivier Van Herk falls down, another one. And then, oh, it's big contact. Olivier Van Herk around, gets punted by, I don't know who that was by, but it was big contact once again between another one of the other cars, I believe. Just looking again, does that look like Alex Denning? Yeah, Alex Denning involved in that one.
It was unfortunate. It wasn't Denning that punted him. It was Altafara who came across. You know, he went for a dive on the move of the car in front of him and just didn't realise that Denning was still just about quarter panel alongside him. And yeah, unfortunately, that resulted in the contacts. We see the leaders come over the start-finish line. Moylan there keeping Dempsey under very, very close watch indeed. Just a couple of tenths as they come towards turn 1. He's closing the slipstream. Is it going to be enough? Dempsey feels like he needs to defend, tries to go to the inside. Moylan cuts back to the outside. Is it going to try and hang around the outside? He can't quite do it, and Dempsey covers off the line.
Yeah, Jamie Moylan looking very racy behind Keith Dempsey. This is going to be a great fight between the championship leader and one of the new boys in the league, trying to make a name for himself here down the back straight. We saw what happened between the 2 Mercedes down here. He pulls to the outside again. Can he go around the outside? Not quite. Going to look for the cutback again. This is going to be a great fight, and all this is going to allow Charlie Eastwood to try and get himself up into this fight. He's in the background. Moylan to the outside, goes lay on the brakes, trying to come around the outside again, looking for the cutback, trying to get on the power. A little bit of a twitch on the exit, and that's going to cost him just a little bit of time. But again, Moylan looking very, very good behind Keith Dempsey.
Yeah, he's certainly looking like he wants to get a move on. I think he can feel Eastwood coming up behind him as well, regaining that little bit of time he lost earlier on. And he doesn't want to hang around. He wants to get out front there and try and make a little bit of a breakaway. But yeah, we can see how hard he was pushing. Yeah, the rear just stepping out on a mid-corner there. And he needs to be careful that he doesn't overstep the mark and cost himself too much time. Already halfway through, Jack, this first heat of the night. And what a frantic beginning it's been. And just as we say that, it's coming almost free abreast in the hairpin, just behind in the cameras, and Tony Stack just about squeezing by with Westbrook ahead of him, it is. And fortunately, the two of them managed to avoid too much contact, but it just ended up a little bit tangled. As just ahead, Shane Rabbit as well, battling hard with Ottofaro, and they again sort themselves out with the beautiful classic Jordan livery there on Shane Rabbit's car.
Yeah, Shane Rabbit doing a really nice job there. He's still under pressure just for the far as they run down the back straight. He's going to come to the outside again with the overspeed. And watch for Ronan Haderman in the background as well, looking for the space. So here comes out of far. Can he go around the outside into turn one? He's going to get the squeeze put on him, but can he make it work all the way around the outside? He's just not going to quite have it. Shane Rabbit holds on, but now Ronan Haderman's up the inside of Ottofaro, and I believe just behind Richard Westbrook has fallen back once again. It looks like he's run wide somewhere. So here he comes against Roland Haderman around the outside. Can he make it work? Not quite. Look for the cut back again. Gets underneath him, but Roland will have the inside for the next corner. So can he hold on the brakes up the inside? Goes Haderman. Richard Westbrook going late on the brakes around the outside. Makes it work. Sticks it around the outside. Good move, Richard Westbrook, and on a good recovery drive.
And Samuli cuts to the cameras just in time because Keith Dempsey is under a lot of pressure again from Moylan. Moylan trying to take the outside line through the old hairpin, just about tries to hang in there mid-corner. Is he going to just keep his nose in now for the switchback? He might just have it. He does. Keith Dempsey has to give him the space on the outside. Can he hang it around the outside? I'm not sure he can. And Moylan just about managing to cover up a line, and Dempsey is going to have to slot in behind, and he does.
Oh, Keith won't like that. Jamie Moylan takes the lead here in the heat race as they run on to lap number 6 of 8. Here, and look how much Charlie Eastwood has closed up. Look at Moylan weaving down the straight, trying to break the slipstream. This is a classic junior single-seater racing right here in the slipstream. Here comes Keith Dempsey again. Charlie Eastwood's right there as well. Here comes Dempsey back to the outside line. Can he go around the outside of turn 1? He's going to go late on the brakes. Moylan gives him the squeeze to the outside line, and they manage to hold him. And now Charlie Eastwood is right there. He sees his championship rival. This is so crucial. If he can take some points off Dempsey, he can take it to the final race. Here comes Eastwood on his championship rival and his teammate. Is he going to go up the inside? No, he's going to hold back and let these guys fight it out. And as well as this, Nicky Meredith is just hanging in there in the background. 3 turn 3 motorsport cars all ganging up on Jamie Moylan here. He's going to have his work cut out to keep these guys behind him.
What a frantic battle now for all 3 podium positions here with just a couple of laps remaining of the heat race. Like you say, Dempsey there just about getting worked out of that leading position by Moylan last time by. What a great maneuver that was by him. And it's going to be really interesting to see now how this develops in these last couple of laps, as Keith Dempsey so wide through Kampser on that lap, and Eastwood not really gaining enough now down into the heavy braking for this left-hander.
Keith would just had a massive little look in the mirrors of Jamie Moylan there, went really late on the brakes, trying to put him off. Just trying to see if he can get the slipstream, because again Jamie's going to be very vulnerable down the main straight. He needs the exit right here. Charlie's going to be right in that slipstream train as well. This is exactly what we wanted to see, how the championship's going to resolve as they come around the last corner onto lap 7 of 8 of heat race 1. Into the gravel goes Jamie Moylan. He's going to start the weaving again, I reckon, up to the outside, back to the inside again, looking for a little bit, just a way to break the slipstream. Keith, is he close enough? I don't know if he is. Jamie's defending with all his might. He moves to the inside line, back to the outside. Keith's going to have the inside. He's going to go late on the brakes. He has a little luck. Jamie goes a little bit sideways through there, but again he holds on just another little bit with just 2 laps left to run. This is fantastic racing.
It is absolutely frantic there at the front, and Dempsey just a little bit wide that time, but he just missed the apex slightly, cost himself a tiny bit of momentum, but not enough for Eastwood to really climb on him. Meredith is just lurking there in the background now as well, Jack. It's almost becoming a 4-car train, so if the front 3 end up squabbling a little bit just in these last little moments of the race, we could well see Meredith taking advantage. But for now, it's just calm down for a second. We've got like half a second between each of these cars. But Moylan just about scrabbling around the second half of that chicane there to keep the apex. I thought he was just going to run out of front grip.
Yeah, just by the looks of it. And you did mention Nicky, but he's the fastest out of these 4 cars. He's almost latched onto the back. We're going to be going on to the last lap. Not quite sure who's going to take this heat race win. Jamie's just got enough of a gap at the moment to keep himself away from Keith Dempsey. But we're just going to be interested to see whether Charlie is going to make a move and gain some points back heading into this final race. To run through the last corner once again to start lap 8 of 8. It is Jamie Moylan who leads ahead of Keith Dempsey, ahead of Charlie Eastwood, ahead of Nicky Meredith, handing it
Ooh.
in the gravel on the way out. That's going to hurt his chances of trying to get on the back of Jamie right here. He was lucky to hold on to that car. Very squabbly through the gravel right there. Charlie's firmly in the slipstream. Here comes his championship rival. Charlie going to go around the outside. Is he going to have a look on the outside? Charlie Eastwood versus Keith Dempsey. Trying to go around the outside. Looks for the switchback move. Keith defends it now. Running through. This is going to allow Jamie to just pull away a little bit. Round turn 2 into turn 3. Now he's going to have a think about a look into turn 4. He's in the slipstream, firmly in the slipstream as they run down towards turn 4. There's a lap car in the way. Jamie's weaving to know he's coming for him. But again, Charlie just hangs back a little bit, just going to wonder, is he going to try anything? Looks for a cutback move here as they run down the hill into turn number 5. Not quite going to have it. I think he's going to have one more opportunity, and that's going to be in turn 10, I would imagine, just coming into the last sector here. But Keith is putting the pressure on Jamie Moylan now.
And these 3 cars are just closed right up. I said it was half a second between each of them last time by. Now it's 2.5 tenths between them. This is the last gasp opportunity if anybody wants to make a move. Moylan looks like he may have it covered for now, but is Dempsey going to be able to get a run as Moylan begins his traditional weaving down the straight again?
Once again, the weaving from Jamie Moylan is not going to go to the stewards. We'll wait and see. But Jamie Moylan, he's holding on, trying to take his first win in the VRA F3 Championship, which would be a fantastic job. But Keith is looking. He's not giving up just yet, but he hasn't got the chicane to help him. He's just going to have a slipstream down towards the last corner. Jamie Moylan rounds the last 2 corners. Is he going to be able to fend off Keith Dempsey with Charlie Eastwood behind him? Round the last corner. Who's going to come out on top here? Jamie Moylan, he's just got the gap, and Jamie Moylan wins heat race 1 ahead of Keith Dempsey and ahead of Charlie Eastwood. Nicky Meredith is 4th. Brilliant racing, and Keith Dempsey is on his way to that title. He's just got one more race to secure that title. Charlie Eastwood, a great drive from 6th to 3rd. And just behind them, I think Niall Murray has crossed the line in 5th place. And Harrison Scott, Jordan Kelly, David Yamamoto, Marty Moore, and Kyle Stevens, who just about managed to fend off Richard Westbrook as they came to the line. Very, very close between them. Then Shane Rabbit, Johnny Adam, Joseph Alfaro, Tony Stack, Ronan Hademan, Sergio Graven, Damien McMullen, Simon Wall, and Brian McManus. Such a shame for him after his earlier spin. Then Alex Denning going to be coming across the line. Then James Holman, Arias Humantis, Dave Collier, Nathan Healy, Owen Murray, Olivia Van Herk, Max Hart, James Wingfield. Oh, we've got one more race to go, Lee. I don't know if I can do that.
Yeah, well, it was, like I say, just absolutely non-stop. I said earlier on that we'll have a look at the replay of the start again after it settled down. It just never did. We never got the opportunity, Jack. So, no, absolutely. So what a cracking start to the night. Like I say, it looked like Dempsey was going to maybe hold on to that win after maybe the first half of the race, but we just saw that Moylan was looking to make a move, and eventually it paid off for him. So yeah, what a cracking race at the front. Especially, we didn't get to see a huge amount of the midfield in the second half of the race because the action at the front was just absolutely non-stop.
Yeah, and that's unfortunately the way it goes sometimes. So the end of the race, just counting down that we're going to have the 3-minute warm-up before we head into the final race of the season. Hard to believe that it's come around so quickly. But I'm going to take this time to obviously thank our sponsors, Dan Ryan Truck Rental and BMO sponsoring the prize for the driver of the day. So we've got to figure out at the end of this, the power is in our hands, Lee, who is the driver of the day at the end. So we shall see who's going to do that. But at the moment, Jamie Moylan looking very, very good for that one. But 20 seconds we're counting down until the end. And Lee, who is your money on for this feature?
Well, all of the top 3 look super fast, didn't they? I mean, Charlie Eastwood had a very kind of up and down first half of the race. He got a rocket start at the beginning. I was sure he jumped the start, but obviously iRacing system never gave him any kind of penalty. So he rocketed straight up to that lead position, dropped back after a little bit of contact, came back through again. So he's obviously fast. It's just whether he's going to be able to maintain the little bit more consistency maybe that we saw in the second half of the race. And then if he can do that, then surely he's going to give both Dempsey and Moylan a real run for their money for the win. It's going to be great to find out.
So we're going to have 17 laps of this Catalonia Historic Circuit, and of course the crucial thing is the top 10 are reversed for this race. So Jamie Moylan was 10th on the grid, Keith Dempsey 9th. So reverse grid pole should go to Marty Moore or Davy Yamamoto. It's one of those two, but I think it's Marty Moore who'll be in reverse grid pole with Davy Yamamoto next to him. So the reverse grid, of course, always makes things interesting. Actually, it's Kyle Stevens, on reverse grid pole. So Kyle Stevens will start on reverse grid pole. Marty Moore, then Davy Yamamoto, Jordan Kelly, Harrison Scott, Niall Murray, Nicky Meredith, then Charlie Eastwood, Keith Dempsey, and Jamie Moylan, who will have start 10th on the grid. Now, remember last time out, Keith Dempsey won the first race and then came from 10th to 1st within a half a lap. It was the most phenomenal driving I've ever seen in my life. So I wouldn't put it past Keith to do something quite similar here. But again, it's going to be so tough. And again, Lee, you've got one more race to go, and you need to do well to secure the title. Keith's going to have some huge pressure on him.
Absolutely, but he's got the experience, hasn't he? You know, he knows exactly what he's doing, whether it's in sim or in real life. So you'd think he can handle that pressure. But at the same time, he's up against, you know, other drivers at the very top of their game. So they're going to be trying to use every little opportunity to, as you say, put him under that pressure and try and look for any little opportunity to take advantage. And it's going to be a fascinating feature race to finish up. Obviously, a little bit longer this time by, but yeah, it'll be good to see. We've got the Heat 1 results up on screen now, so let's just confirm the final positions whilst the guys continue their warm-up for the feature race. So Jamie Moylan in the end took what looks like a more comfortable than it really was 3.5 victory over Keith Dempsey in that second position. Charlie Eastwood then in third. Nicky Meredith, as we said, in fourth, with Niall Murray sneaking into that fifth position. I think he must have gained a couple of spots just towards the end there. Harrison Scott in sixth, with Jordan Kelly seventh. David Yamamoto in 8th, with Martin Moore in 9th. Carl Stevens rounded out the top 10 with Richard Westbrook just outside in 11th. Shane Rabbit then in 12th, with Johnny Adam in 13th. Joseph Ottafaro in 14th, with Tony Stack in 15th. Ronan Herdeman 16th, with Sergei Graben in 17th. Damien McMullen in 18th. And in 19th position was Simon Wall. 20th, Brian McManus. Alex Denning, who we saw contact earlier on, in 21st. James Holman 22nd, Arias Eumantis in 23rd, Dave Collier 24th, Nathan Healy 25th, and the session rolls over just as I'm almost at the end. But we got pretty much everyone in. How many? I think I did reasonably on the names there. Jack didn't butcher too many of them, I feel like.
Yeah, good effort. Very good effort. I'll give you props for that. Well done.
It's a damn sight a lot easier than some of our series, being that you're mostly Irish and British based. So that certainly makes life easier than some of our more exotic locations that maybe our drivers come from. So yeah, grid is up on screen. Jack, did you want to run the viewers through?
Yes, of course. So Kyle Stevens starts on pole position. Marty Moore next to him. Devi Yamamoto in third place. Jordan Kelly, then Harrison Scott, Niall Murray, Nicky Meredith, Charlie Eastwood, Keith Dempsey in 9th, and Jamie Moylan in 10th. Then Richard Westbrook will start in 11th place. Then it'll be Shane Rabbit after him. And then further down the grid, got not long left to go now.
Yeah, revs are rising. We'll cut that.
And away we go for the final heat race and the final race of the season. Great start, Kyle Stevens. Good start, Marty Moore, as they head down towards turn 1. Kyle gets the jump, followed closely behind by Dave Yamamoto as they run down towards turn 1. Looks all clean so far. Keith Dempsey just on the outside, looking for a sneaky way through. Marty Moore dives down the inside into turn 1. Kyle Stevens then look for Dave Yamamoto, looking around the outside. Can he make that one work all the way around the outside? And Marty Moore, good fighting between all of these guys. They run through turn 1, but Kyle Stevens has got the gap already. Marty Moore holding on to second place. And then Devi Yamamoto fighting with one of the turn 3 motorsport cars. I believe that's Niall Murray just in behind him there. Up the inside, contact made. Marty Moore is off the road. Big accident involving them as they run through here. Kyle Stevens gets even more of a gap now. That's so unfortunate for Marty. It's just sent off into the gravel trap. Big accident there.
Oh, more contacts. So we've got more contact over front again. Meredith, McManus. There's so many cars falling down. Jordan Kelly dropping down. So two separate big incidents at the front of the field. Really broken the front up. I was going to say that Charlie Eastwood got an awful start off the line, dropped down to 14th, but then he had a much worse turn 3. So the front of the field now we can see on screen really broken up a little bit from those incidents. And Dempsey is looking very comfortable now.
Yeah, he's up into 4, but he's going for 3rd now, straight through Dave Yamamoto. That's fabulous stuff from Keith Dempsey, starting 9th. He's up to 3rd on lap number 1, not even the end of lap 1. Jamie Moylan's trying to follow him through behind, and now he's chasing after his teammate right here of Niall Murray. And off the road goes, who's that? That would look like Dave Yamamoto off the road, yeah. So we've lost a number of cars already. That was a big off for Dave Yamamoto right there.
And the new iRacing damage model having to work overtime on that one for Yamamoto. Just the chassis was left at the end of that.
That was a massive one for him. So Kyle Stevens still leads this race after lap 1. with Niall Murray second place, but Keith Dempsey is in third place. Jamie Moylan is there, and Johnny Adams had a fabulous getaway he's up to fifth already. And then Joseph Odafara, Alex Denning has come up a long way up to that'll be seventh place. Brian McManus, then Ronan Haderman. So all these guys have capitalized off of these accidents up here. So they're running very well. But of course, all eyes are on Keith Dempsey and Jamie Moylan. We saw how good this fight was earlier, and we've got 17 laps of it. And Keith Dempsey has got the championship on the line. Charlie Eastwood has had an awful time of it. He's dropped away all the way down to 14th place into a non-scoring position. Of course, that will mean that Keith will win the championship in the current position. We're not sure we don't have the live points, of course, but Keith could already have won it, but he won't know that. So he's in third place, trying to fend off Jamie Moylan and trying to get past Niall Murray, and Niall Murray is a fierce competitor.
Yeah, so Charlie Eastwood caught up in a couple of different instances in that opening lap, so dropping him right back. He's already recovered a few positions, in fact, but yeah, so struggling in that 13th. So it looks like at the front, we're just single file for a moment, just everyone just regaining their breath after that frantic start. So we've got the top 5 cars just breaking away a little bit at the rest of the field, with Johnny Adam just trying to hang on in there at the back. Carl Stevens taking the Moylan book of going down the front straight, and we can see everyone else just chasing him down as they now come into turn 1. And Moylan has a little look at as a Dempsey there. Oh, sorry, Dempsey has a little look at Neil Murray on that one. Niall Murray, I do apologise.
Yeah, and he's closing in on Kyle Stevens. He's doing a really good job out front. It's the first time he's led a VRA F3 race right here. Jamie Moylan, Johnny Adam lurking in the background. Joseph Odafara is not too far off the back of them either, so this will just keep going for a little while longer. And of course, here comes Jamie Moylan having a little look around the outside, thinks about it. Too much going there. But again, now we've got the 4-car train for the race lead, and this is just classic F3 right here, just in the slipstream of each other. Jamie Moylan, again, he's all over the back of Dempsey once again. Is he going to pull the same move he pulled last time? He's firmly right up on the gearbox of Keith Dempsey. They run up through turn 9, up the hill. Jamie Moylan in the slipstream, but again, Keith has got that slipstream off of Niall Murray ahead, who's also got the slipstream. Keith has another little look on Niall again, but he's going to compromise his own line on the way out there, and Jamie's going to have another think about it up the hill. Again, just showing himself in the mirrors, but Kyle Stevens still leading, doing a great job out front right there. Niall Murray, but now Niall Murray again on the gearbox. He's going to have a little think about it into the last corner. That's an unorthodox place to make it. The inside, Niall Murray. Now they're neck and neck. This is going to compromise. We're going to go 3 abreast into another hill. Keith Dempsey almost gets taken off the road by Niall Murray. And here comes Keith Dempsey again. And Jamie Moylan now looking on the inside. This might get a little bit messy as Niall Murray goes for the lead. Jamie Moylan looks on the inside of Keith Dempsey as well. Niall Murray for the lead of this race. Keith Dempsey follows him through, trying to go around the outside of Kyle Stevens right here. All the way around the outside. Can he make it work this time? Yes, he can. Up the inside, Jamie Moylan follows him through as well. So in the space of 2 corners, Kyle Stevens has lost 3 positions in the space of 2 corners. Johnny Adams in this one as well, and Jamie Mullins looking on the inside of Keith Dempsey as well, trying to make it work, but Johnny Adams close up to this one now as well. That was almost race ending for Keith Dempsey. That was way too close, far too close.
And it was all triggered by that real unexpected move by Murray on the final corner. I mean, who would think that there'd be an opportunity to stick your nose up the inside on there? Certainly Carl Stevens didn't, and as you say, that then triggered all the closing of the rest of the cars. So good driving from everyone to get through cleanly, as Stevens about to lose another position to Johnny Adam, and he just about nips up the inside. So Stevens now down into 5th, and Johnny Adam now trying to chase down the podium position. Stevens trying to have a little bit of a comeback at him, but it looks like Adam has got that position well covered.
Yeah, Johnny and Adam having a really good run of it, but to 4th place and trying to close up to this lead battle. But Niall Murray out front now, Keith Dempsey 2nd, Jamie Moylan 3rd. This is going to be a great fight. It's going to be interesting to see if Johnny Adam can close in to the top 3 in this final race of the season. And onto lap 5 of 17. Still a long way to go in this race. There's still plenty more action to come by the looks of it. And maybe we might just get it settling down for a little while. And just as we run through the field here, Niall Murray from Keith Dempsey, from Jamie Moylan, Johnny Adams 4th, Kyle Stevens is 5th, Joseph Odafara running well in 6th place, Brian McManus, Alex Denning, Arius Humantas and James Holman, and then Charlie Eastwood back into 11th place. And looks like Charlie has just set the fastest lap of the race, so he's on the charge, but he's a long way back from the lead battle, which is where he needs to be. But he has got a really outside chance of winning this title. course, Keith still in firm position to take this title, but he's got his teammate ahead of him, and he's putting the pressure on.
Yeah, absolutely. The front three just trying to pull away a little bit a minute. It's interesting watching these guys for the last few corners, just the different lines that they're choosing to take. There's obviously not just one single narrow path that you got to do. We've got shallower lines and deeper lines, and yeah, good to see the different opportunities for the drivers there to try and make that a little bit of a difference. Just dropping back further in the field now, cracking battle for the back end of the top 10. We got Diamantis defending hard from Holman now as they come into the hairpin corner, and sweeping around the outside of the last second was Holman, was it, who's tried to audaciously make the move, just about managing to hang on. 4 cars trying to get into one corner, Jack. They're all just about managing to get through cleanly. We've got a cutback coming as well now, I think, from Denning. If he can make that stick, he's going to get the one position. Sorry, no, it's Eastwood, sorry, getting the cutback on Denning.
And now Holman and Eastwood, I think, have just broken their left rear, but they're almost nearly broken it. But that was a very brave move from James Holman. Yeah, Eastwood has broken his left rear.
Rear suspension rattling away again. iRacing damage model coming into view beautifully, and how is he going to get through turn 1?
Charlie Eastwood, a double move on the inside. Great move from him, opportunistic, and comes through to take, that'll be 10th place. With a broken left rear suspension, that was impressive. And James Holman as well, he's got his left rear is also rattling away on the inside there. He manages to avoid it. Again, Diamantis coming back at him up the inside. Great fighting here for the tail end of the points and trying to hold on to the inside. Diamantis, Alex Denning's trying to hang in there as well. Diamantis, can he hold on? Holman's still on the inside, and can he hold on to that one? Yes, he can for now. But Diamantis again has got a cutback here.
Denning spins.
Spinner, yeah, we got a spinner in the background. Alex Denning has spun, and Holman holds on for now. But that's a very, very...
Ooh, Niall Murray into the wall heavily, Jack.
Oh, Niall Murray is off and out of this race, in the wall backwards.
Through the fastest corner on the circuit, Campsa. So he is very, very happy to be driving a sim and not in real life on that one. That would have been a big shunt. So yeah, from the lead, right? He was in the lead when we last checked in still, and yeah, we'll have to try and catch up on a replay and see whether that was contact or whether he just lost it all on his own.
Yeah. So so Dempsey apparently was already leading. So I don't know if he just spun by himself or there was contact maybe. But again, we did see that Jamie Moreland has dropped back quite substantially from the back of Keith Dempsey here. So I wonder, was that a cause of that? But that has meant that also Johnny Adam has dropped back as well. So maybe it was between himself and Johnny Adam, because now Kyle Stevens is back to 3rd and Brian McManus is into 4th place now. So good job from him. But it looks like Johnny Adam was maybe involved in that one.
And so just looking at the replay of the aftermath now, just getting the correct spot in the sim to see exactly what happened. So Niall Murray did get turned as well. It was by Moylan. So Moylan stuck his nose up the inside into Campsa and viciously threw Niall off. So yeah, there was a portion of his car up alongside, but was it really enough to hang in there on the fastest corner of the circuit? It'd be tough for Niall there to give enough space on the apex and still try and make the corner himself. So we shall see what the stewards say about that one, but that was a real shame for Murray there out of the race.
Yeah, running so well, and unfortunately just getting caught up in that one. But now that's meant that Keith Dempsey once again has come from almost reverse grid last place up to the lead once again. And Jamie Moreland into 2nd place. Kyle Stevens. This is going to be a great fight for the podium, I must say. Kyle Stevens, Brian McManus and Johnny Adam fighting for this one. Kyle looking for his first podium. Brian, of course, on a recovery job. He hasn't had the best of days right here, and Charlie Eastwood's not too far off the back of them as well. So Charlie's trying to make a recovery here, but again, I think he knows his title hopes are over if Keith Dempsey keeps up the pace. So here we go. Kyle Stevens, Brian McManus, Johnny Adam, and Joseph Odafaro as well, having a great run, I must say. Joseph in 6th place. And then Charlie's with Tony Stack as well, doing really well in 8th. So there's going to be a great fight here. And of course, everyone's going to be rooting for that wonderful Benson Hedges livery, Jordan.
Oh, of course, how could you not? But looking at Brian McManus, he's really worked his way up through the field, gained 16 positions, Jack, from his starting grid to get into this fourth. So if he does manage to get on the podium, that would be quite an achievement to have come through all of that carnage we saw in lap 1 and get himself onto the podium spot. But it looks like he's going to have a fair battle on his hand as this little group of cars are just starting to come together a little bit more. It's going to be a 5-car battle for that podium spot in just a lap or two, it looks like. Oh, Charlie Eastwood having a dive. That was very, very optimistic. Unfortunate for Ottafaro there to get caught up in that.
And
so
it's like the cars are stuck together. Charlie, no. And he's taken Joseph Ottafaro out of the running for 6th place finish. Oh, you got to feel sorry for Joseph in that one.
Yeah, looking at the replay, and just Eastwood just went in way, way too late, way too hot. And Ottafaro just didn't have the opportunity to even look at giving him space. So shame for them too, but we can see that Stevens is under pressure from McManus. McManus going to be on the outside for turn 1. Can he hang on in there for turn 2? Doesn't even have to. Stevens backed way out of it and just handed the position there to McManus. Do you think you'd put up a bit more of a fight for that final podium spot on that one? Maybe Stevens got a bit of damage, possibly.
Possibly he does, but I think he knows that McManus has got the pace over him, so I don't know if he's either that or he's starting to struggle with tyres or something along that line, but now he's got to fend off Johnny Adam. Either way, Stevens has driven a great race, but McManus up to 3rd place, more familiar territory to where he likes to run in, so back to podium territory for him. And Keith Dempsey still in the lead out front, but Jamie's keeping pace with him. They're not far off. So it's a good job from him. He's on for another, possibly a 1st and a 2nd, but again, possibly his move could be going to the steward, so we'll have to wait and see on that one. Just going to have a peek down to around 10th place, because a certain Damien McMullen is running inside the points, and that's a fabulous sight. Damien is a VRA regular, Digital Motorsports regular, and it'd be fantastic to see him get to score a point here. We'll wait and see if that happens, but good job, Damien, running really well. Keep it up, mate. Now, let's see how Johnny Adam is faring with Kyle Stevens. Still a great battle there.
Yeah, absolutely. Say McManus securing that 3rd. Stevens and Adam then just a couple of attempts between them as they work their way around the laps. So we'll see how that battle is going to develop in just a second, but yeah, Dempsey from Moylan, from McManus, from Stevens, from Adam, from Yomantis, from Stack, from Denning, from Kelly, from McMullen, as we're watching on screen in that 10th position.
Yeah, we'll wait and see. We are on lap number 10 of 17, about to go on to lap 11. So the race has flown by, and this final race of the season, and only a 5-round championship. But it's provided some brilliant racing so far. Not quite over yet, because Johnny Adam has got to negotiate his way past Kyle Stevens. So let's see what he can do coming around the campsite in the slipstream. Don't know if he's going to quite have it down this back straight, but just going to hold on for now by the looks of it. But again, Lee, you love to see this. The real world drivers, again, factory fighting it with the virtual racers. It's brilliant to see.
Oh, absolutely. It's it really is great to see, say, some of the names in here and how they mix it up with the sim regulars. You know, it's going to be interesting to see how this develops through future series on Apex Racing TV as well. Of course, only just picking up this series for broadcast in the 2nd half of the season. It's going to be something to look forward to see future events from VRA and Digital Motorsport. As Stevens defending from Adam, he goes to the outside, can just allow Adam that inside line, in fact, and again just doesn't put up the fight and allows Adam to cleanly get into turn 1, having a little bit of a sneaky look back, but settles into that 5th position. But yeah, no, fascinating to see from these guys. Stevens just having a little look again into turn 3, but into turn 4 rather. But yeah, just happy it looks like to follow into that position for now.
Yeah, still enjoying his time fighting away here, but Johnny Adam on for a 4th place finish would not be a bad result for him. Jamie Moylan, just again, they're matching lap time to keep Dempsey up here, but he's just not doing the job this time. Not quite close enough, and I think in this little lull in the action, I think that we'll just have the nominations for the driver of the day. We've got 3 nominations for the driver of the day. So it's going to be Brian McManus is nomination number 1. He's driven a great recovery driver, must be said, to 3rd place. Actually, I might just say our nomination is actually the top 3 at the moment. So Keith Dempsey in the nomination for driver of the day. Jamie Moylan, 2nd nomination, and Brian McManus is the 3rd nomination. So we shall see who's going to win that one out of that one. But all worthy winners, I would imagine.
Absolutely, it feels like it's going to be difficult to look past Keith Dempsey at the minute with 2 race wins incoming and the championship wrapped up in the same race as well. But we've still got those few laps remaining for something to change. Keith Dempsey is a name. Seems like we're going to see more on Apex Racing TV, as well as I spotted that he had signed up for the Apex Racing League Touring Car Championship, as did Nicky Meredith. So it'd be great to see those guys coming across into the Audi RS3s as well, starting in just a couple of weeks' time, or in fact next week, so next Thursday. So that'd be great to see those guys back in action again soon. As Stephen's here, still keeping Johnny Adam honest, just keeping with his slipstream, ready to pick up on any errors, perhaps.
Yeah, just hanging in there. Perhaps waiting to pounce at the end of the race. Just want to keep the action up. Just going to see how Charlie Eastwood is down in 12th place, just kind of on his own, really. Just got past Shane Rabbit, and it's really gone from bad to worse for Charlie, unfortunately. He is going to grab 2nd in the championship, but really today was, of all days, was a total disaster. Unfortunate for him, but we know he'll be back fighting strong once again. Just going to have a look as well. Doesn't quite seem to be as much action as last time, but all the action kind of happened in the early stages, unfortunately. I think with Niall Murray crashing out, I think that kind of ended all the action, unfortunately.
Yeah, and again, the incidents on lap 1 really just broke the field up a little bit as well. So it's been a fascinating race still, but as you say, not as just absolute non-stop as we saw from Heat 1. But to be honest, Jack, I could do with the slightly more calm second race, just for allow us to settle in and see what's going on and not be racing through like a headless chicken the whole time. So that is good. I'm happy just for a slight respite. It's all good.
Yeah, I think I agree with that, and I think the drivers will be as well. They get to run their laps for a little while.
Charlie, sorry, Jack, to interrupt you. Charlie's just recovering either from an off track or he's got an additional error. He's going very, very slowly at the minute around the end of a lap. Absolutely. So obviously I forgot as well, we saw him damage the left rear earlier on, so God knows how he's been continuing on for so long. But as you say, now it looks like that right front has absolutely finished him off as he cruises around into pit lane. So unfortunate for Eastwood, has not been his race, as it evolved in a couple of instances. He's had an amazing start off the grid in Heat 1. He had an awful start in the start of a feature race off the grid, caught up in instance as well, and so just hasn't been his night to take that final fight to Keith Dempsey.
Yeah, exactly. So it just hasn't happened, and one day he might get the better of Keith Dempsey. We shall see. He's just holding on for now. Just Keith is just so consistent. It's so hard to beat. So we'll see. He's got a couple more laps to run, and I don't think he has to worry too much. But he has. He just got to keep his eye in the mirrors. Because Jamie Moylan, he just took about 0.2 of a second out of him that lap, so he can't relax too much just yet, because Jamie's still putting the pressure on him. But we don't want to curse anything just yet. Brian McManus running in a comfortable 3rd place, almost about 8 seconds off the back of them, and a couple of seconds in front of Johnny Adam and Kyle Stevens, who are still neck and neck here. Kyle not letting go of him. And then Umantis having a good run, 6th place. Tony Stack in 7th. Alex Denning in 8th place. Jordan Kelly in 9th. And Damien McMullen in 10th place, with Nicky Meredith bearing down on him. So I'm not quite sure if Damien's going to hold on to that 10th place. But either way, he's driven great. He's driven fantastically, has Damien. So I've just heard Damien has just got himself a Driver of the Day nomination. So he's in the running for it. We'll wait and see who comes out on top on that one.
Yeah, it'd be great to see, but as you say, Meredith is hunting down very, very quickly behind 2.5 seconds quicker last time by. So I dare say that Damien is going to be out of the points before we reach the checkered flag. We can see just yeah, a couple of laps remaining now of the night, and what a fantastic night of racing to finish up the series, Jack. It's been fascinating to see, and some awesome driving that's been out there, as well as some unfortunate incidents as well.
Yeah, I think that's just with the characteristic of the F3s. It's just you're running so close together. It's so very, very easy to get involved. And of course, with the damage model, it adds to it.
And it's been hard
But
racing as well. Yeah, that's the thing. You know, it's been great to see some hard racing out there, and it just means that yeah, those incidents are going to be inevitable at some time. Here comes Nicky Meredith on Damien McMullen, cruises through into turn one, and yeah, up into that 10th position.
yeah, just a little bit unfortunate for Damon. Just didn't quite have the gap, but he's still running well in 11th place. So let's see if he can just hold on for a good result here in the number 99 car. But it's very hard to hold off against Nicky Meredith, one of the fastest guys in the championship. So Nicky Meredith into 10th place now. Jordan Kelly ahead of him, then further up Alex Denning. So now coming across the line is Keith Dempsey to begin lap 16 of 17. Just going to have a quick look at the gap as they come across the line. And Jamie Moylan, again, just a chip of 0.2 of a second out of him, but he's not doing enough just at the moment to catch up at the end. So not that. And I've just seen, I think Charlie Eastwood has actually disconnected so that he's totally out of it now. So unfortunately, the championship is now over. All Keith Dempsey needs to do is bring it to the end, and he'll be the F3 champion, which is a prestigious title. So I've just had the result of driver of the day come through as well. So, and congratulations to Brian McManus. You are driver of the day for the final round with this third place, if you manages to hold on to it. So well done, Brian. Very well driven. Great recovery. And of course sponsored by BMO. So well done, Brian.
Yeah, cracking recovery into third position. Say 17 spots gained from the grid. So, like I say, just to get through to make that progress, as you say, well start, let alone deserved for Brian on that one. Looks like Keith Dempsey is just happily managing this gap now to Moylan. So Moylan is, as you rightly say, Jack, just creeping up a little bit, but it seems like Dempsey's just managing his pace, making sure he's not going to put a foot wrong and finish off his championship in style with a double race win for the final round.
And coming across the line to start the final lap of the F3 Championship, Keith Dempsey. He has dominated both races, as he had to fight for it. Jamie Moylan, of course, took the win last time, and he's dominated this one for sure. Coming through turn number one, he has just been completely unbeatable this championship with his consistency. And he's just driven sublimely, and he has been just awarded driver of the championship. Well done, Keith. He got another accolade to add to him, and that trophy is getting prepped behind me for its new home in Keith Dempsey's living room, if he can find space for it. But coming around here, and just a special mention as well, runner-up and driver of the day was Damien McMullen. He, according to the results, if he had held on for that 10th place, he would have got it. But Brian McManus, with that drive to third, just managed to beat him. But coming through the campsite, Keith Dempsey in the Turn 3 Motorsport car into the final sector. Jamie Moylan, he's just run out of time, I think, just to catch up to him. It was a few more laps. He could have had him, but Keith is just managing this beautifully. Another feature race win to add to it. Coming round the last couple of corners. Got one more corner to negotiate. Round the last two corners, here comes Keith Dempsey. He is driven sublimely. He's going to win the feature race. But more importantly, Keith Dempsey, you are the Digital Motorsports VRA F3 Champion of 2019-2020. He crosses the line. He is world champion. Fantastic job from Keith. That trophy's going home with him. Jamie Moylan is second, and Brian McManus, driver of the day, crosses the line in third. Johnny Adam manages to fend off Kyle Stevens. He will get a 4th place finish. He's going to be happy with that one. Kyle Stevens, top 5 finish as well. Great job from him. Arias Yamantes finishes in 6th place. Then it'll be Tony Stacked across the line next. And after him will be Alex Denning, who's going to get a top 10 finish as well. Not a bad job from Alex there. He's just going to have enough time to defend off Sergey, who's unlapping himself there. Jordan Kelly finishes 9th. And Nicky Meredith will round out the top 10 in the point scoring positions in 10th place. And Damien McMullen, still a great drive from him nonetheless. Even if he didn't quite get the points, he rounds the last 2 corners. He'll finish in 11th place and runner-up and driver of the day. So well done to Damien. Shane Rabbit will be the next card across the line in 12th place. And then Nathan Healy, who finishes 13th. Now remember, Nathan Healy was upside down in race 1, so he's not done a bad job to get to 13th place. Flipping wildly down the main straight last time I saw him. But then it'll be James Holman, Sergey Graben, Davey Yamamoto, and then the non-finishers, Joseph Odafaro, Charlie Eastwood, the runner-up in the championship fight, and non-finisher in this one, Dave Collier and Ronan Hademan. And unfortunately, that is the end of the championship, and fantastic racing all around. Sad to see it end.
Yeah, so it was a great night of racing, like you see. It was a privilege for Apex Racing TV to get to start covering this series, and we look forward to hopefully seeing a lot more of everyone in the future. What a faultless drive from Keith Dempsey all night. We didn't see him put a foot wrong. He put himself exactly where he needed to be to secure the championship. Nobody could beat him if he just took the wins in each race and did everything that he possibly could to ensure it. So, yeah, cracking drive for the night. I'm sure the first 3 rounds that we didn't see on Apex that were just as dominant as well. And yeah, fantastic to see from everyone. And so we're certainly looking forward to moving on to the future seasons and getting more involved with VRA and digital motorsport here on Apex Racing TV. It's such a unique series with the drivers that we have available here. So we're looking forward to doing bigger and better things in the future, hopefully. Results are up on screen. Let's have a quick skim through those, just make sure we know exactly where everyone was. Keith Dempsey just by 1.1 second over Moylan in the end. Brian McManus taking that final podium spot 10 seconds back. Johnny Adam 4th, Carl Stevens 5th, Yumantis in 6th, with Tony Stack in 7th, Alex Denning 8th, Jordan Kelly 9th, Nicky Meredith taking that top 10 position as we saw earlier on, just pipping Damien McMullen in 11th, Shane Rabbit 12th, Nathan Healy in 13th with James Holman in 14th, Sergey Grubin in 15th with Yamamoto in 16th. This would having returned on and every instance and retired, so that 17th position was
and that is it for VRA Championship, sponsored by BMO and Dan Ryan Truck. Again, big thanks to those guys for supporting the championship as well. And again, congratulations to Keith Dempsey. That trophy that's sitting on just behind me is going home with him, and he is crowned the champion. Jim, one to watch for the future for sure. Great drive. Brian McManus again showing his class there in 3rd place. But I think unfortunately that's going to be it from all of us here in VRA and Digital Motorsports. Thank you all for watching. And again, just before we go to not trying to interrupt you too much, I'm just going to have a quick run through the schedule for the week to make sure you guys know what we've got coming up on Apex Racing TV. So Friday morning we've got the Acuta AOC Super Series 8:45 on Friday morning. So that's going to be an endurance round on that one, 4.5 hour broadcast. Then we've got our next race isn't until next on Saturday, actually. Formula 3.5 Championship, the official series, 10 o'clock at night on Saturday evening. Sunday morning, then Aussie Mixed and Fixed Aussie Series is going to be a fantastic one to watch. That's been growing in popularity this season. They're getting some huge numbers on the views on the iRacing Esports Network. So that will be at 9:45 GMT. Then next race won't be till Monday. World GT Championship, 8:10 in the evening. The normal late night, Monday night, Tuesday morning, depending on how you look at it, Rick Matek Series then around midnight.
for more sports car series. World Racing League then Wednesday morning, Tuesday night at 12:55 in the morning. And then we'll be back then for next Wednesday for another round of Sim Racers World, which has been going on simultaneously with VRA. So slightly quiet week this week as we're just crossing between iRacing seasons, and then it will get going in full after that. So that's our week ahead, Jack. We're looking forward to, as we say, seeing more of VRA and having something to announce for next season.
Yeah, it's been fantastic. Of course, thanks to Lee, thanks to Sam Lee, who's working hard on the cameras as always. And yeah, that is it from all of us here in VRA HQ. And hopefully we will see you next time for whatever championship we've got in store for you. So thank you all. Have a good night, and we'll see you next time.